All right, folks, we are back. Mr. Anderson,
Mr. Anderson
is to my left. The owner of The Volume Just Increases, which we'll get into that. And then we always have my guy, Mr. Mustachio.
What's up, guys?
Anthony Martiriello.
How's it going?
You like how I did your name there?
Yeah, Anthony Martiriello. Very good.
Thank you.
Pronunciation.
On point. Your mother would be proud.
Yeah.
So, Chad, I always, for some reason, like to start off with how we met with the people that come on the show. I feel like it's a good way.
Yeah.
And we met at, shout out Eco Dude, at his pop-up shop in Fairfield. He has one in Norwalk, folks, if you're closer in that area. But we met there, and Tony had already purchased one of your candles at the Norwalk location. Right. Then again at the Fairfield location.
So at that point, 2 candles.
2 candles.
Yeah.
And
Fandles, not candles.
Fandles. And
which is a candle.
Yeah. And then and then Debbie, shout out Debbie from Connect Fairfield, introduced us, and now we're here. I'd say 2 weeks later.
2 weeks later.
Right?
Sure.
Yeah.
Cool.
Just because I was busy last week with a bunch of shows myself,
right.
So.
And you're not far from here. We're in the Knowlton, guys. If you don't know, if you're new here, we're at the Knowlton in Bridgeport, Connecticut. We love this spot. Shout out to Knowlton. There's actually
still downtown.
Yeah,
which
still
is awesome.
Yeah, still right on
Don't
the
worry,
outskirts,
people,
but it's there.
It's not as crazy as our parents' generation.
Yes.
They used to tell us, "Don't go downtown."
Yeah, exactly.
Downtown is amazing now in Bridgeport,
especially the art.
Yeah,
a lot of art and music, all types of arts. I'm talking about all forms.
It's the art that brings people in.
Right.
It's all being regenified right now. I've been living downtown Bridgeport here now for almost 15 years.
Wow.
And I've seen like the difference every couple of years where it's like, wait, there's a new restaurant. Oh, wait, there's this.
Yep.
And now with the amphitheater that took over the old baseball stadium, which, personally, the baseball stadium has like a little sentimental thing to me because that reminds me a lot of my childhood.
Well, I was going to get into it. Where are you from? Are you born and raised here?
I was born in Bridgeport. My parents, we were raised in Black Rock, but then they moved up to Easton when I was little. Mm-hmm. So majority of my life I was in Easton. Yeah. But, my grandfather actually was the mayor of Bridgeport at one point.
Wow.
So you guys don't even know that.
Yeah. That's cool.
Don't worry, we won't get into politics.
Yeah. But that's
who the hell
sweet.
hates politics.
Yeah.
But a very good friend of mine, his mother and his stepfather were the ones that actually brought the baseball team to Bridgeport of the Bluefish.
Wow.
So growing up, a little shout out to Mary Jane Foster. She was the one that really saw the
vision for what it could be.
The vision of we're going to bring back to Bridgeport what it used to be back in the 20s and 30s where it was like
booming.
Everyone used to come here.
Yep.
Sinatra used to hang out
it was
downtown.
the second music capital of the world behind it with LA.
So,
fun fact. And then the rest is history. Obviously, after the Great Depression.
Seaside, or what is it? Seaview.
Seaside Park, you mean?
No, not Seaside. There used to be kind of like a Coney Island that's like Stratford and Bridgeport.
Oh, yeah. And it was like, I know what you're saying.
It's not Seaview Playland.
No, it's abandoned. It was abandoned.
It's
There's a fire.
It's on the tip of my tongue.
Jeez.
Someone pull out their phone.
Try to look it up on there, Tony. We got it. He'll get it up. He'll get it up. But don't worry. Yeah, no, that place is cool. I used to go there and try to make little horror films.
You still can go over there, but with the whole COVID thing, which we're still all battling, there used to be like a little boat that would take you over every
Pleasure
day.
Beach? Is that
Pleasure Beach.
That's it.
You can walk there.
There you go.
It's off of exit 30.
Yeah, you can walk the whole length of
it's far.
Long Beach. Of course, it's called Long Beach.
Yes.
Go through all the seashells and get over there. And as you said, you made little horror films.
Yeah.
It's definitely
a great spot,
abandoned.
dude. Like you walk into a room and it's like the beds are still made like the people just left from because there's like a fire or something there.
Yeah,
right.
Like years ago. But then like the city of Stratford and Bridgeport fought over who owned all the rights to it.
Wow.
And then Bridgeport, I guess, gave it over. This was probably about like 8 or 9 years ago to the town of Stratford, which, for a lot of people. Yeah. But now it's kind of like a bird sanctuary, so it's good. It helps all the nature life.
Yeah.
But so
that's cool about the Bridgeport, the Bluefish, because obviously growing up, I'm from Fairfield, so not too far from Easton, and used to love going to the Bluefish games when I was a kid because that was like the closest thing that in like UConn games to like professional sports for me.
You don't remember going up to like New Haven's hockey team?
No, I never
like,
went to those games.
the
I never did those.
Or like a Whalers game? You never went to a
No,
Whalers game?
I
When we still
never-
had a professional team?
Look, we have the Whalers gear, and we
I
have
mean,
a
we do
banner.
have the Monarchs, you know?
Yeah.
You
Oh
got
yeah.
The women's professional basketball team.
No, the Connecticut Sun.
Oh, is it?
Connecticut
Yeah.
Sun.
Should've been
Sun.
the Monarchs.
And then there's also the Connecticut Whale,
The
which is
Wales
the women's hockey team.
professional women's WNHL.
Yes.
See?
Um,
I didn't know about that.
yeah.
Yeah, pretty cool.
It is cool. But yeah, so that's cool. That your grandfather or grandmother.
Grandfather was the mayor of the city.
Yep. then-
In the late 70s, early 80s. But as I said, politics is politics.
No, but
one
I'm
ever
just
wants
saying
to-
it was your Mary Jane.
Foster.
Foster.
who is a family friend.
Yeah.
My friend's mom.
Yeah.
She was the one that, thought of this idea. And it was like, as a kid, it was like, dude, what are you doing this weekend? You want to go to a baseball game? Yeah. Like, of course I want to go to like, a baseball game. Like Ruben Sierra, who used to play for the Yankees, actually was discovered in this Atlantic division, as they call it. But it was an amazing thing because you would see all these professionals that was kind of, it's a sad thing to say, but that's where their career went to die.
Yeah.
But, for anyone that, couldn't afford, the outrageous Yankee prices that we all know about today.
And the whole trip.
Yeah. They're like, all right, now we have to drive an hour down.
Right.
Take
Yeah.
this,
Or-
take that.
Yeah.
Take the train.
Tough, dude.
But for like families, it's like, oh, let's just all go to the ballpark. Because when I was a kid, I remember going up to the New Haven Ravens, which was a Colorado Rockies affiliated farm team, until like a lot of businesses here in Connecticut just got up and left. So it was like, no, don't get rid of them. Like that was like this Colorado's team. Like,
Yeah.
they had Quentin McCracken, who was fantastic, but never really made it in the majors. But
Yeah. That's cool though. So after where'd you go to high school and
high school and all of like
Yeah.
the schooling,
Yeah.
went through the Easton school system.
public
so
school? Or-
Region 9. So hit up, Samuel Staples, Helen Keller Middle School, and no, I'm not blind. And then went to Joel Barlow. But there is a funny story of a friend of my brother's. I'd missed the school bus when I was in middle school. My brother was all angry because he was going up to go see like Rusted Root or something up at Syracuse with his buddy from like summer camp. And it's like, oh, I got to drive my brother. Like, it'll take like 10 minutes. And his buddy was all like, oh, come on, man. Really? Like, let's just get on the road. We're going to miss the show. It's 6 hours away. Dude, it's okay. It's like 10 minutes away. So we're driving up right to like, the door of Helen Keller. And he looks at my brother in the Wrangler that my parents had and goes, dude, I didn't know your brother was blind.
Oh my god.
Crap, dude, I feel like such a dick. And all of a sudden my brother looks in like the rear view mirror and I'm like looking, smiling. I'm like, Brian, are we here yet?
my God.
And start playing it around. He's like, oh, dude, I feel so bad.
That's
my brother is
hilarious.
like, yeah, man, now you understand, like sometimes he misses the bus. And like all of a sudden, he's like, oh, can I help your brother out? And I'm like, no, fuck you, dude. Like, I'm cool. He's like, wait, what? And my brother starts laughing at him. And Marker just goes like, wait, what? It's like, dude, Helen Keller house was behind my parents' house growing up. So it's like not a big deal. Like she's like the local celebrity of this town.
Wow.
And it's like, wait, what? So we had to give him like a little history lesson.
on what the school
Yeah,
was.
like the school is named after Helen Keller that
Yeah.
lived in this
Wow.
town. It's
Yeah,
like,
yeah.
no shit, I didn't know that. It's like, well, now you do. Don't worry.
It's a small town. If anybody has not
I didn't
been
know
there,
that, to be
there's
honest.
a
Yeah.
little.
Actually, where my parents live, literally the house behind was Helen Keller's house.
That's crazy.
Cool.
There was a cool kid there. I can't remember his name now, but
So-
he lived in that house.
Whoa.
When I was on the school bus with him, like, you live in Helen Keller's house. It's like, huh? What? Who?
Yeah.
It's like, don't worry. We'll get to like third grade, you'll read all about her.
Yeah, exactly. That's funny. So after high school,
After high school, I went to University of Rhode Island and studied
Right.
like. Yep, you were high, as a lot of people
Yep.
say. Don't worry, it's all good. Now it's okay for everybody.
right.
Went to URI, studied communications, but it was in like high school where I started playing around with like photography a lot. My art teachers, like this woman, Ms. Bailey or Beth Bailey, as she goes by, and the photo teacher, this guy Spinner, were like the two art teachers who were like, you have like a really good gift with like the photo stuff. You should like look into this. You know, my parents are always telling me like, you know, it's a hobby.
Right.
But went on to school, started doing communication, you know, just like you guys do here with production, you know, setting up studios.
Yeah.
Used to work for Soundview when I was like an intern.
We're on
No
Soundview.
kidding.
There you go.
Every Wednesday they are our sports port. That's funny.
Yep. So I worked for Soundview
Cool.
that used to be downtown. I don't know because now they moved to Stratford.
There's Stratford now,
right.
yeah.
So my
That's
sister
funny.
worked there. Now then I started doing and did a lot of video production work for a while. But it was like the whole thing of college, just like, oh no, I really got to start taking photos more and more. And it was about my junior year where I was thinking about studying abroad, but wasn't really like, I don't know. Tried to get into a program in Ireland and didn't get accepted. But my sister was like, hey, why don't you go study in England? And I'm like, I don't know. She's like, look, you know, maybe I shouldn't divulge into this, but it's like, look, I'll write your resume. If you get in, you go. And I'll come visit you because I want to go back. She went to school in London for a little bit. She did the same thing.
Yeah.
But why I was doing these applications, I was trying to get into the photo school at URI, and they told me, well, you can't because clearly what we're going to teach you, you already know. You've already been published in Rolling Stone because of, I have a photo of Adam Levine and John,
Mayer.
no, not John Mayer.
John.
Jason Mraz.
Wow. I love Jason Mraz.
So they were on a co-headlining tour, and well, it didn't get published. I should rephrase that. It was considered to be a news story for Rolling Stone, but like clearly you've already have these connections. Also, I was published in Drum Magazine for these photos of my brother's drummer, this band called Raisin Hill. So they're like, well, you know, go study abroad and focus only on photography. You can do that. So I had all those like gen ed classes I still needed to fill up. So went over, studied in London, just decided to take photo classes and, you know, film classes. Hung out, traveled throughout Europe, taking photos of this and that. And then as I learned more and more, I was like, you know, this is actually kind of like what I should be doing. No matter how much my parents tell me I shouldn't be doing this.
Right.
Go get a real job, as you know, all of our parents tell us.
Yeah.
It's like, this is a real job.
Yeah. What's his name from the Black Eyed Peas?
Will I Am.
Will.i.am. When he first started in music, you know, he obviously wasn't big. And his mom used to say, "Go get a real job." He said, "I have a job. I'm just not getting paid yet."
Yeah, you'll see, Mom. I promise you.
Yeah.
You know, my mom kind of had that like theory with me too. You know, first she was happy I got into college because, let me be honest, wasn't the greatest student in high school. Yeah, I was like, do I want to go see this Fish show and go on Dead Tour and go see whatever bands like Strange Folk and all this sort of stuff, or do I really care about this? You know, 6-page paper that I have to finish
or science
for,
exam.
Yeah. So I was like, well, Mom, you'll see. One day I'll get there. Like, it's like, this is all your brother's fault because he was the musician that, you know.
You have another brother?
I have another brother who's older, who is a musician that actually kind of opened this door for me.
Like of the art world?
Of the art world, but also really the music world. You know, just like if you ever saw like Almost Famous, I was like the little brother that, you know, here's a Who record, here's this. The first, this is a funny story. The first CD I ever got was from my brother. I was 6 or 7 years old, and it was Frank Zappa's Chic Your Booty. Now, the second CD I ever received was American Tail, Fievel Goes West. So you can see which path I really chose to like follow. Disney knockoff or really classic rock that it's mind-blowing. Which I actually told Dweezil Zappa this story once, and he's like, wait, what? He thought it was really funny. But went to college, focused on all the photography, opened all these doors that, you know, one band started introducing me to another band, introduced me to another band, and it's only like kicked off from there to where it actually led me to a job actually working with the New York Mets at one point.
Tony's favorite team.
So I used to do this fan photography work where, you know, they walk around like, hey, let's take a photo, hey. But as my boss got mad at me because I didn't want to take the photos of these random people, I actually wanted to take the photos of the fans with the players behind them. So I used to be like, oh, guys, stand this way. Let's do it like this so you can get, like, you know, Jose Reyes behind you. Or, you know what? Don't even worry. I'll take a photo with my camera and take a picture of Jose Reyes, and you can buy it. Boss got mad because, you know, we don't have the rights from MLB. And it's like, well, you guys are doing this, so you should get the rights. Lo and behold, a bunch of times, he told me not to do it. I didn't listen. As my mom used to say, it would go in one ear and out the other. I decided to actually just keep doing it. And my boss one day called me in on an off-day game. And he's like, you have to come in. I got yelled at by him for about like 20, 30 minutes. All these photos were on a table just like this. And there were all these suits around me. And I was like, wait, what? Like, am I being fired? And the guy's like, you should. And then he's like, oh, no, you're not being fired. And my boss looked at me like all confused, like, well, I thought that's what we were doing. It's like, no, these are great. I actually want you to start working with us. So tell me more of like why you're doing this. And we started taking photos from all the seats in the house. I'm like, so I can see where I'm actually sitting and have this whole feeling of, oh, if this is what the players will look like from here and here and here. And it just turned into this thing where I thought I was being fired one day, then to only be promoted to working, you know, for the Mets, and I was like, "This is awesome."
Doing the job you wanted, taking the photos at least you would want to take in that atmosphere.
Well, one day I was working doing this. A guy from the Yankees actually approached me, and I'm a diehard Yankee fan.
See, now we're talking.
So it's okay, but remember where it started. It started with the Mets. It's not like we're all going to, you know, like Philly or
It's still New York.
Deal with Boston fans. But this guy approached me. Guy approached me. He's like, well, what are you doing? Well, would you ever want to come work for the Yankees? I was like, you know, I'm a diehard Yankee fan. And he's like, take my card, contact me next season. This was in 2008. So 2009, started working with the Yankees.
World Series.
Exactly. So I actually worked for the Yankees in 2009 when they won the World Series in 10 and 11. Did it for 3 years.
Wow.
I could have a World Series ring, but
I was going to ask.
As a employee, yes, you do have. It depends on where you're located in the organization. Being where I was down here.
Yeah.
But you know, if you work as a like Brett, who actually curates the museum, who's an amazing guy. If you ever go into the Yankees museum now, that's at the new stadium, talk to him. He has so much knowledge about like Yankee history. Exactly. It's incredible.
Yeah.
So I used to hang out with him every day, and we would talk about all different things. He would point out stuff. But as an employee, you can buy a ring. So if I wanted to buy a Yankees World Series ring as an employee, it was going to cost me $10,000.
Holy crap.
And as, you know, any of you guys that went to college, it's like, well, you know, student loans,
or
car payments,
10,000,
living expenses.
That's kind of
tough. Do I buy this ring that, you know, I'll be worried that I'm going to get drunk one night and like gamble, playing the dice game at some bar.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, well, I'm going to roll 3 6s. So my mom was like, there's no way you're buying a piece of jewelry. And like right before my grandmother, who passed away a few years ago, she was just like, you had an opportunity and you didn't come see me. I would have given you that money because you'll never get that opportunity back. And I was like, why did I not think about that?
Yeah.
Of course I like.
Grandma would always
give up money for that. But it's like, no. Because there's more important things than a piece of jewelry. But, you know,
then you'd be on Pawn Stars and you could get it.
They give you like $500 for it.
This was a 2009 ring. I swear I got it myself. You can see my name's on it.
Yeah. That's funny.
But
I know a guy who's a pro in rings. No,
Yeah, right. Oh, I know.
Hold on, I got to make a phone call.
Let me get the expert in here if you don't mind waiting a little bit.
Yeah. It's like, do you always have that expert? Yeah, no.
They're like a block away. Every expert is a block away.
They're around the corner for
literally
standing there.
It's really a guy down in the basement. They just have experts in a basement somewhere. It's like, call up Jimmy.
Just actors.
But could have had a ring, which, I still think about, you know, where's the
Yankees one.
There's a Yankee vandal there.
Yeah, that's dope.
This is actually one of the last photos of Derek Jeter.
Wow.
It is one of his last bats at the stadium.
Wow.
So
that's sick.
I was like, oh, it's an off day, but I'm going to go in and take photos. And I was like, oh, this is so cool.
Do you have the original photos still?
Oh, I do. Like I have all these.
Have you thought about doing NFTs?
We talked about that when we first met outside of Brad's Ecolab store.
So have you?
No, because I still don't understand.
Okay.
I'm an old generation guy, even though I'm not that old, but I'm still confused.
Yeah,
it's even hard for us to fully understand them, to be honest.
It's like, okay, so here's something that I can put somewhere else that someone can buy for up to like $7 million or something.
Yeah.
But then they own that one thing.
Well,
can't they just own a giant piece of art anyways for that $7 million?
Yeah. I mean,
but it's digital. Yeah. Okay. Keep going. What makes this so impressive? Nothing. But they own it now.
It's just like owning the original source.
Yeah. But it's no different than as a photographer. Here's your 35 millimeter slide.
Yeah.
There's a guy named Robert Knight. Do you guys know who he is?
No.
In the music art culture world, if you ever walk into a Guitar Center and you see all the photos from everyone from Stevie Ray Vaughan to Jimmy, like
Hendrix,
playing, like lighting the guitar on fire and all that's. Actually, I think that's a Jim Marshall photo. But he has shot all these different musicians, and there's a great documentary actually on Netflix of how he ended up selling his whole bunch of archives to the Jimi Hendrix Foundation to help his mother, who is going through dementia, get the care. But every bit of old 35 millimeter film, he like, all right, I'm selling this off to take care of my mother. And it's like, this guy is worth buku bucks in the rock world. He's like one of like the top 10 rock photographers ever.
Wow.
And it's like, you watch that and you kind of like, why would you do that? But then it's like, oh, this guy's so nice.
Yeah.
Oh, shit, maybe I should shoot more 35 millimeter. Because it's like, here's my hard drive, but I could have 60 of them all backed up.
Yeah.
But I guess that's what the NFTs, where it's like, there is no other hard drive. It's like,
no.
But who knows? Because it's digital.
I know, but
now I tweaked it a little bit. I don't know.
Right.
But
I don't know. Well, you should.
I'll get there eventually.
Yeah. It's cool.
I'll one day spend. Do you have any NFTs?
I don't. No, I'm put all my time in.
Will this be an NFT?
Right, exactly. You take a photo of this room as the original room of Downtime, and one day make it into an NFT for when we are big.
Yeah, and it's like,
and then that'll be worth like 10 mil.
Yeah.
And it's like, for what?
I saw one that was like someone bought a digital furniture for like
I was seeing that too.
What?
Yeah, like literally a freaking couch.
Okay, so I just recently worked for. Have you guys ever heard of the show This Old House?
No.
Look it up real quick so I can see it.
All right, This Old House has been on air on like PBS and all this sort of stuff since I want to say like the 70s. It's all about rebuilding up old homes. They have a magazine. They're the company's based out of like Stanford. That's a magazine. But
that's all right. I've seen that magazine, I'll say.
Yeah, your mom probably has it in her bathroom.
Back in the day, I do remember that.
It's just like better homes, type of thing.
Right.
But these
looks like
guys,
Tony right there.
Yeah,
right there in the blue. Yeah, look at him.
I think his name actually is Tony too, which is funny.
Wow. Yeah,
I'm not kidding.
that is great.
A friend of mine hired me pre-pandemic, but then all this stuff happened. But it's funny that you said the NFT of a picture of a couch. I had to go through an archive for their...
These guys?
Yeah, well,
This episode or whatever?
No, it's not an episode. So all of their 30-plus years worth of information, they wanted to finally put on a cloud server. So I had to go through all these photos with the help of my friend Meg and start right now, bookshelves. Square cube shelves, drone, Positivity Tribe, Entourage DVD. I had to take and archive each of these little things. What would you call this wall behind you? Leaf wall.
Yeah.
So there's a picture of that now that person could probably sell as an NFT as just this wall. If that other person sold $10 million for a couch photo or whatever.
It's ridiculous. I don't fully understand
think
it.
About, there's so many NFTs that could be made.
Yeah, there's a lot. We had a guest, new co-host, or a guest co-host, I should say, on Screen Time, one of our shows last night, and he does art every night, and he's trying to get his art turned into NFTs. It's just an interesting world we live in. But so what happened after the Yankees gigs? You said 2011, 12?
Yeah, so 2011, 2012, that seems like a while ago.
I know.
A decade ago.
Yeah.
Almost.
Got tired of...
Almost.
2011.
It's almost.
It is a decade.
2011.
Oh, it is. It is. Sorry. It is.
2011.
Sometimes math is hard.
I know. Hence, sports media and communication.
He caught the ball. He
Yeah.
caught the ball. That's all that matters. So after that, I actually started working for the Fairfield Theater Company. You know, still
FTC.
you know, sports world was where my mind was for so many years. I forgot to mention, like, I worked for ESPN as a camera guy, which is also how I met the people for the Mets, where the guys used to be like, you do not want to work in baseball. And I was a diehard baseball fan.
Right.
I still am. But it's like, you don't understand how long these days really are.
Yeah.
So I was like, okay. Where, you know, there was times where I was missing out on these big concerts and festivals. Like, oh no, we got a playoff game. We can't do this. I can't sign up for working these festivals. So I decided to leave like that little sports world, which is funny because before we started, who knows, I might be going back sort of into it to work with the Giants.
Right.
But decided to go back, work in the music thing. Started becoming an assistant for FTC for their marketing department. And just like realized, like, yeah, I always liked the whole music culture so much better. It's a lot more laid out and like relaxed at times, as long as like shows are selling.
Right.
There's no pandemic to really throw a wrench into everything.
Right.
So, you know, we had all these great people that FTC used to have. You know, I got to meet like Buddy Guy and BB King. We had like Melvin Seals there a bunch.
The venue's nice. If anyone hasn't been there, it's beautiful.
Well,
especially with I know back then it was just that little spot.
Yeah,
right?
it was just stage one,
Yeah.
which is a little black box, little
cool.
tiny theater.
Yeah.
Where literally you could put your feet up on the stage, and all of a sudden it's like, here's Larry Campbell, that's the band leader for Bob Dylan and Levon Helm of the band, and literally I have my feet on his stage right now, and it's like.
It's a nice small venue. It's very personal.
But because we did so many great shows that we actually used to do shows here in Bridgeport also at the Klein. So we had like Dark Star Orchestra, Lyle Lovett.
I've never been to the Klein, to be honest.
No? Oh, the acoustics in that room are really fantastic.
I bet. It's an older building too.
Yeah, that thing's been around, I think like the 60s or 70s. Slightly Stupid. We had
Cool.
Like those pants.
which bands?
The jeans.
Bottom of the 70s. I know, I'm just teasing.
It's okay.
I know.
They're comfortable.
Yeah. No, I know.
Renee's all about comfort.
Comfort.
Yeah.
I think we're all about comfort.
Of course.
I like to be comfortable.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh,
I mean,
totally.
look, you got your shoes off.
Oh, he's all
Yeah, I
about the
do.
toes out, dude.
A friend, I'm going to give you, are you a big beach guy?
Yeah, of course.
All right. So my friend Bonnie, one of the sound guys actually at FTC, this is his trick. She's all about the beach. So one birthday, he got her a little tub and filled it up full of sand and gave it to her. And she's like, what is this? It's like, so you can always have your feet in the beach.
Oh.
And for like years, she just always, took off her shoes when she got to work, put her feet in the sand.
Wow,
and just
that's
made
cool.
it like so much more comfortable.
Oh, yeah.
I'm gonna do it.
We should just fill the whole room up with sand.
At this point.
Yeah.
And then leave. Like, is it really worth the deposit if you guys have?
I
Just a
think
little
it's
bit of
fine.
sand,
Yeah. Just
You can
vacuum it up.
Yeah, right?
Yeah, exactly.
Dude,
What's that
easy.
coming? $20.
Yeah.
Vacuum it up.
Yeah.
Get a wet vac. Yeah. It'll take like 20 minutes.
Yeah.
Wow.
There you go.
There you go.
But, seeing like the feet out, I was like,
Yeah.
wouldn't it be more comfortable in some sand?
It would be more
It would be.
comfortable. My feet are a little cold
So there you
right
go.
now. My
There's a little
toesies.
idea.
Are they cold?
Toesies are a little cold.
Heated sand.
Heated sand. Well, yeah,
Wow. Like, so you feel like it's like the sun scorching on it. you know?
Yeah. Put like the hand.
Yeah. We have to like dig your feet in. Yeah. But so yeah, FTC.
So worked FTC for
Yeah.
a while. Started working at Infinity Hall, working with those crews up there with the grills. And now I'm actually down working at Wall Street Theater in Norwalk, which is fantastic. Today we just announced actually Thievery Corporation's coming. We have like Mavis Staples coming. We have Les Zeppelin, Little River Band,
Cool.
The comedian Eddie Griffin.
Oh.
We just had Carlos Mencia.
Oh, wow.
So, like, it's
Cool.
It's great right now that music is back.
Yeah.
Even though after the year we had, but there's so much going on right now. So
it's good. It's much needed, especially music. Definitely, helps people in a positive way.
Of course.
You know what I mean? Brings love and joy and dancing.
Lots of dancing.
Dancing raises vibrations. Fun fact: just dancing and singing. Folks.
And hugs.
So
And hugs.
Hugs too. So that's
sometimes those hugs are a little. It's like, I wish you didn't hug me.
Yeah, like I don't know.
You're a little too sweaty for a hug.
Every
Yeah,
day.
we all have had
Every
that
day.
hug. It's
Yep.
like,
Tony's pits.
Anyone who had my back, really, dude. It's the back.
God.
note to self, always hug.
Yeah.
me, bro.
Yes. Let Tony come in like this.
Yeah. You gotta go higher on the shoulders. It's the mid to lower back area that probably has the most amount of sweat.
Yeah, I feel like you're safe here when you hug Tony. This area.
Not to here or here so
middle.
much,
Yeah,
right
not
here.
here.
and then
Or
here
his
so
whole,
much.
because the whole pit too. He gets the whole pit. He gets the ring of death.
Dude, you know what, bro? Whatever.
Like,
It's because you're.
Because I'm so well hydrated all the
true,
time, dude.
That's coming
I was
out
gonna
your
say, like,
pores.
are you like a big pet sweater or pit sweater?
Yeah.
Sweater?
That's where it starts. I feel like.
I think that is where
That's
it's,
the origin of
It's
the
always
sweat.
hot in this room, like wherever he
Are
takes
you
me, it's always
kidding?
I
hot.
was like, this is actually pretty comfortable right
It
now.
is. It's always cold in here because of him. We have to get blankets and sweatshirts.
I
to
could drop it
accommodate
like
him.
another 5 degrees cooler would be nice. 5 degrees, dude.
Anyway, so what after FTC?
So after FTC, as I said, went and worked for Infinity Hall. Picked up some side jobs of working
Now you're
for
here
this old house
in Norwalk.
and now I'm down in Norwalk. But during this whole pandemic thing, when the whole music industry all went belly up, all these bands I used to photograph were not on tour anymore. So I decided to actually try to find something to do, and came up with, everyone still needs art in their life, but no one wants to hang like pictures up on the wall. I mean, right now, if I gave you guys a picture, where would you guys even hang,
I know.
it in here?
I have.
Yeah, it's tough.
Yeah, we can always move and adapt. Honestly.
Yeah.
But
Like some of these we can lose.
Yeah.
But that's my point.
Definitely. There's some stuff like.
so I started realizing that people don't have room for large photographs of bands anymore, or B, it just doesn't tie into their motif.
Right.
Like, so if I gave, like a Zach Brown picture for you guys, would that even really fit in here with the decor?
No.
So, but I decided, like, what if I took my photos and turned them into candles? Which everyone has a room for a candle.
Everyone.
So, and everyone likes a candle.
And everyone likes
candles.
music.
So, as I started, thinking more and more, these people gave me the opportunity to photograph them over the years. You're holding an Eric Clapton. I've gotten to photograph him a couple times. That was
That's
actually at Madison Square Garden when he played with Steve Winwood.
Cool.
I was like, what if because all these different bands have been off the road, including their production teams, their tour managers, their roadies, what if I put a little QR code, which I do through Spotify, and give that little stream so anyone that actually plays it, those bands can get some money back, and hopefully it can go back into their pockets. Hopefully they're giving it back to their own staff.
Crew. Yeah.
Their crew, the staff. So people are like, wait, what? My wife, fiance, whatever we call ourselves now, because we were supposed to get married during the pandemic,
yeah.
but
Put it on pause for a second.
put it on pause. But she's like, how are you going to do this? So I figured out a way and put the little Spotify QR code. And now I've made these interactive candles,
Oh wait, I can even
which
go back.
Oh,
are
now you're
actually
switching
kind of
it up.
cool.
Yep.
Let's see. If you guys, let's see if I can pull up.
Yep.
So
keep-
I'll
yep,
show
going,
you
Mike.
how they work.
We will do a demonstration for you guys.
Very simple and easy.
Yep.
Can we do the Yankees one for Tony?
Sure.
Oh.
So, do you have the Mr. Met one in here?
It's in my
It's
house.
in his house.
Okay.
It's in my
Sleeps to it.
bedroom.
He likes to tell you this is his routine.
First-
so Tony, on. Can I finish?
No,
I know you don't want
go
me
ahead.
to-
Go ahead.
Tony likes to get home. He likes to, eat, do his thing. I mean, when he gets into bed, he lights the Mets candle and he plays the song and he falls asleep to Mets music, hoping that they win.
Well, they did in that with that Fandle because that's all the Amazing
69.
Mets album from 1969.
Yeah.
You said that, and that's sick. He's never even
I
heard of that.
I love the Mets Hallelujah on the green grass.
Oh
of
my
Shea.
God.
It's so funny.
It's so cool.
I have
It's
to
like-
hear it.
Yeah, well, I'll play it for you later
I
tonight.
also brought up the book that has
All of them.
all of this stuff.
Yeah.
So basically, all you do is go to Spotify.
Go to Spotify.
You get this little search button down here. I don't know if you guys.
It says search, the middle
search.
button.
So search. You get this little camera,
Ooh.
and then all you do is point it. Let me make sure my sound's up. Okay. Point it at the little QR code.
Just like that.
So now
Winning, I hear winning.
Winning.
but we didn't win in that.
It's all right.
Oh, you didn't.
In the cornfield game the other day.
True,
Oh,
but
through the
they
dreams
have,
game.
they
But,
have,
I think
they are
that's-
hot right now.
You know what? I
Yeah.
think it was rigged because they needed that
Oh my
movie.
God. And guys, just so you know, it smells delicious.
So
And obviously you make the candles.
Yeah,
How do you
they're
get
all-
the scents? How do you do the scents?
So they're all natural scents that I put in with the organic soy wax. The thing that's cool with this, and this is why Brad, the Eco Dude,
Shout out Eco
actually
Dude.
has these, are the glasses that you see these Fandles in, as I call them. They're photo candles, so Fandles. Or if you're a fish fan, I guess it works that way too. But they're all upcycled glass, which I actually go pick up at Restore, because each of these rocks glasses is a little off, so they can't be sold. So instead of just them throwing them away, they now sell them at Restore. And
It's awesome.
I decided to upcycle them.
Yeah.
On top
So
of it,
they're eco-friendly as
they're
well.
eco-friendly. But here's the biggest thing: if you guys ever have a Yankee candle, usually after you burn that jar, what do? You just throw away the glass jar.
Now we bring
Some
it to
people
you.
throw some, coins in them or whatever.
Right.
But you can throw a little votive candle in here, and now it's a whole nother new candle.
Yeah.
You can also bring it back to me, and I'll
Yeah.
fill it again.
Yeah.
So there's that way. But also, people aren't going to throw it away because now it plays that whole album's worth of music. So now it's like a little collector piece.
Yeah,
where,
that's true.
Here, a little Zach Brown playing.
And it smells good, guys, again.
The Night They Drove Dixie Down, a little cover. So I try
How
to
do you
put
choose the
live
flavor for the
the scent for
The scent
the
flavor.
scent for each Fandle.
Yeah.
I try to think of what the artist would actually go for. So I think Zach Brown actually has like a man scent because Zach Brown's so manly. Look at that beard on him.
Yeah.
Eric Clapton's got a Nagy Champa scent because he's a little bit of a hippie from back in the 70s days. Some of them have like a clean linen smell. So it's a little of this, a little of that, but it's always funny when people are like, oh, do you have this band or that band? I'm like, I do. I've shot a lot of bands over the last 20 years. I was 13, 14 when I started photographing bands, my brother being the first band.
Yeah. You should
And
do
now-
a special for his birthday one day.
I actually have given him a couple
Like with his.
with his photos or
Yeah, that's what I mean with the photo.
we have one with my mom on
Yeah.
it, and then it's just here. So for Mother's Day, I actually gave one to my mom with her wedding photos of her and my dad. And my mom's like, "What is this?"
Yeah.
So it had some Neil Diamond, who was her.
Her guy.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You ever listen to some Neil Diamond?
Nah, not really.
Yeah. Yeah. But some people really like Neil Diamond.
Yeah.
I can see the appeal.
Yeah.
I mean, I'll
I
take
see
a
it.
listen.
Right.
I know he's famous, so.
Yeah. But he's no longer
reason.
touring, so it won't help anyone right now.
Right.
But that's kind of it. So
Cool.
I decided to actually take my art,
Right.
turn it into a whole new medium instead of just here's a photograph, here it is in a frame, put it up on a shelf.
Yeah.
Why not take the art, put it anywhere where you want it, and now light up the night. As I'm saying now, it's like they're candles. Each time you light it, it actually changes the whole dynamic of the photograph too, because the light shines through the image. So as the wax sinks down, more light will come through, and it's just a whole different thing.
Cool.
So it's kind of cool.
Yeah, it's really sweet. So where can people order these?
They can go to thevolumejustinCreases.com.
Okay,
I have an Etsy shop as well.
He does.
And you can also look up ChadAndersonPhoto.com. There's a link on my photo page that ties you in as well.
And we'll put all this in the bio too, guys, obviously.
Yeah, definitely.
It looks like your volume just increases.
Yep.
I love the logo.
On Instagram.
Yeah.
Yeah, so the logo was created by a friend of mine from high school, this kid, Chris Gallen, who actually does a lot of rock and roll music posters for bands. He's has done people from Government Mule to Twiddle to the infamous String Dusters, Bob Weir of the Grateful Dead with his side project called the Wolf Brothers. So I called him up like, hey, I know that you can make one hell of a graphic. This is what I'm looking for. He's like, yeah, give me a couple days. Let me see what I can make for you. He's like, what do you think of this? And I'm like, it's exactly what I wanted.
Yeah, it looks great.
So, shout out to Chris. As always, he always does fantastic work, and I'm happy.
The lights in the background, from the stage, looks
like
cool.
If you're, that's what we see all the time. It's like, oh, we gotta photograph the lights.
Yeah.
It looks so cool.
Right.
Especially, when you get to like photograph Fish or some band like that where
they're light heavy.
Yeah.
They use the lights for the show.
Yeah. It gives that dynamic of like, whoa.
Right.
And it's like, it's an afternoon set. It's cool.
Is it tough to? I mean, maybe not because it's photography, but I feel like is it tough to sometimes when you're doing it, maybe you're like you find yourself just like being like, whoa, or maybe that was earlier.
Oh no, I mean every time I'm shooting,
you're just like, dude.
Who was it? I shot Kiss actually at Webster Bank Arena.
Cool.
And for like the first song, I actually just was like majority sitting back because I had never seen Kiss before. And it was just, so they started in with Detroit Rock City, and like Gene Simmons is standing right in front of me, and I'm just like watching him play, and I'm like, whoa, this is awesome.
Yeah.
And all these people are raging behind, like, yeah, Kiss.
Yeah.
But it's like, I'm front row right now. I actually just had this like feeling a couple weeks ago. I got to photograph the Black Crowes as they're doing their Shake Your Money Maker 30th anniversary tour. So I got to photograph it up in Hartford.
Cool.
And, Black Crowes, we all know that Chris and Rich, had a lot of bad blood between brothers for a while. And so it's cool that they've come back. But just like sitting there in like a pit with, 4 or 5 other photographers and just looking at everyone behind us and just being like, this is what we get to do for a living.
Yeah.
Like, it's a pretty cool thing.
Right.
Where everyone else, like, it's a weird thing actually too, because everyone goes, oh, you have the coolest job in the world. You get to go to concerts and photograph bands. But it's also the most stressful job because most people go to like a concert to kick back, relax, get away from the work week, and like,
right.
Like now I can just like, I can cut loose. We go to concerts like, oh shit, I gotta run up these steps. I gotta try to get this angle or that angle, and like just hopefully get the shot.
Right.
So it can also be a lot of stress.
Right. And you don't know if you really, I mean,
now with digital, it's a lot easier. You can see like, ooh, look at the lights. Nope. Oh, I'm going to go back over here. But also certain bands only allow you to shoot, the first 3 songs and that's it.
Really?
So this is something that actually started because of Bruce Springsteen back in the 70s. People were getting upset by all the photographers that used to hang out in the pit all show long for all those people that bought tickets early and came into those venues early, that Bruce decided to actually put a halt, like, all right, well, you only get the first 3 songs.
So other people just adapted it?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Some people say it was Bob Dylan, but Bob Dylan doesn't care about anything except Bob Dylan.
Yeah.
There's a great story I'll tell you guys. So when Bob Dylan was down here, a friend of mine actually used to work at the arena. Have you guys, since you guys are here in Bridgeport, have you gone over to Jimmy's Army Navy downtown?
No, I feel like we passed by.
Yeah,
a
we
lot.
do.
All right. So there's a guy in there named Dave Schneider. He also plays in a band called the Zambonis. And since you guys are sports guys too, he has a band that literally plays the NHL All-Star games and all this sort of stuff. They have the Hockey Monkey. But every song is about hockey. And it's huge. It's huge. These people are huge.
Yeah.
I highly recommend you bring Dave in here.
Yeah.
But he was at the arena working. Dylan was playing. and he's a huge Dylan fan.
Yeah.
So he's walking to his car as Dylan's coming in, and he's like, "Oh my God, Mr. Dylan, I'm such a big fan." Bob Dylan looks at him and goes, "I don't know you. Go suck a dick." And Dave is like, "Holy shit, Bob Dylan told me to go suck a dick. Holy shit, this is amazing." And the way he tells it is like so dramatic. It's so funny. And every time like there's something of Bob Dylan, I'm always like,
you think about
go
that.
suck a dick.
Yeah.
So,
that's funny.
But I highly recommend having Dave come in here, and he will tell you some amazing sports stories, especially with the hockey world. If you guys are hockey guys,
Yeah, of
I know
course.
you guys are baseball guys.
No,
but,
we're all sports. Our sports show does all sports.
yeah, Dave, I would highly recommend.
That's cool.
You
Yeah.
guys, if you guys need a contact, I'll.
Yeah. We definitely will hold you to
and
that.
he's a big Bridgeport dude.
Yeah.
His family's owned the Jimmy's Army Navy since I want to say like the 40s.
Whoa.
So it was like his great grandfather, his father, and now he runs it. Great people.
Cool. That's sweet. Yeah.
So
So we usually ask the guests on here if they've, because we like, I don't know how it even started, but the book, actually I do. The book, The Alchemist, used to come up a lot, and we always say, what's a book that's influenced you, or if you're reading a book currently that you like, for the viewers out there in your life.
Question.
Right?
Book I'm reading right now is Slash, his autobiography.
Cool.
Because I'm a music guy, so it's a pretty funny read right
Yeah.
now. But a book that influenced me a lot was there's an author called Paul Auster. He's a Brooklyn guy. There's a book called Timbuktu. When I was in high school, I was reading a lot of Hunter S. Thompson books, so like Fear and Loathing. The Hells Angels, the Campaign, 76 or whatever it was. But my teacher, this woman, Mrs. LaChance, I don't even believe I still remember all this shit. She's like, Chad, you read a lot of kind of like drug-infused books. You really should try something else. So she hands me this book. There's a big picture of a dog like on the cover. She's like, why don't you try this? I'm like, fine. I can't read like books that I kind of have an interest in that have like rock, sex, drugs, and rock and roll. That's what I want. That's what I'm living. Like that's what I want to do.
Yeah.
All right, let me see this. Literally, the first like 3 pages is this homeless guy is out like mainlining heroin, and he ends up dying. And I'm like, didn't you just tell me to get away from these drug books? And like this is in the first 3 pages. Like what the hell? But the dog that he's with, he gets reincarnated as his dog like 10 minutes before he dies. And the whole book is basically the premise of we are actually part of our own pets. Like, so do you have a pet?
I used to.
Okay. What did you have?
A dog.
Okay.
Yeah.
So when you were ever sad or depressed or like just angry, did your dog always
Comfort
just
me?
come up and
Yeah.
like, let me just put my head
Yeah,
on
of
you?
course.
It's actually you comforting yourself
Through my dog.
Yeah, through a meta
Parallel universe, yeah.
That's actually you're whatever we are.
Yeah.
We come back as like our pets to actually help ourselves out. That's like the whole premise of this book.
Cool.
So I was like, holy shit, this is like some deep shit. Like, what?
Yeah.
So I've always like kind of held on to that where like, I have a dog now. And like, like last night, I was just kind of like down and shit. I'm exhausted from working a festival. Why we couldn't like get to it last week.
Yeah.
But like my dog could just sense like, you just need a little like lick on the face.
Yeah.
Cheer you up. Like, oh, thanks.
Some loving, yeah.
And I'm like, oh God, this fuck is like, is it me cheering myself up? Yes,
Yeah.
it is. Ah.
Oh, that's so funny.
So if you ever get a chance to read
cool.
Paul Auster,
Yeah.
I'm a big fan of Dean Koontz. He does a lot of like weird time travel-y type of stuff. So if you
Cool.
want a good like fiction book,
Yeah, definitely.
Growing up, I read a lot of Stephen King.
Aren't you reading one right now?
I'm reading a Stephen King book
Yeah,
right now.
yeah.
It's called 11/22/63.
Okay.
It's about this guy actually goes back in time to stop the Kennedy assassination.
Wow.
Yeah, it's pretty dope. yeah. I honestly forget how I even stumbled upon it. But I actually found out they made a Hulu series about it as well. I think they're in the 2nd season of it.
Huh.
But the book is awesome. Obviously, it's like 800 pages. I got like 100. and change left, but dude, it's nuts.
Well, and it's weird for like Stephen King, the number of his stories that have been turned into movies.
Oh, crazy.
Even like his little novellas, which The Green Mile.
Oh yeah,
that was a
such
novella.
a classic. Yeah,
The Shawshank Redemption.
Right.
Like people are
Another
like, wait,
classic.
that's Stephen King. It's like, yeah, that's Stephen King.
yeah, it's crazy.
That Cemetery was a movie.
Yep.
They remade it too. Actually,
They've
made
made
it
it
twice.
like 13 times. I feel like, Carrie and all that sort of stuff. Let's see. So those are like my usually go to. But for me, I like reading a lot of biographies of of rock people.
Right. Just their life and hearing about their story.
Yeah, because a few years ago I read Buddy Guy's one, and it was seeing how he was brought up, in kind of like the trade of slavery, with his parents working out on cotton fields and all. And now you see this guy, he owns nightclubs, he owns this, but growing up he didn't even have like a dime to his name. So the kind of slave master, if we can even call him that anymore without being like so PC and all this,
I know.
he actually bought Buddy a guitar and gave it to him because his father and mother worked so hard for him in the fields that he wanted to give something to like the son, and gave him like a guitar. And he started playing and learning all this sort of stuff from watching these different people down in Louisiana.
Wow.
And it was like, now next time you see him perform, it's a whole different aspect of how you look at these performers.
Right.
Not just like, all right, you guys know how to play the blues. That's cool.
Yeah.
It's like no, there's a story behind all the shit you've seen.
Right.
Same with Willie Nelson. I have his autobiography that I have to get to, but Johnny Cash's biography, if you've never read that, it's a great one. Goes into a lot of the problems he had.
Right.
With his brother dying when he was a kid, and how his father took it out on him. Which, have you guys ever seen the Dewey Cox story?
Yeah.
So that's majority of that is the Johnny Cash story.
Right.
Which some people wait, what? It's it was mocking all of this, but wrong kid died. You're like, I have nothing.
Never seen it.
You've never seen the Dewey Cox thing?
It was called it was Walk the Line, right? Dewey Cox story.
Walk Hard.
Walk Hard. Walk the Line was the actual Johnny Cash one.
Was the Johnny Cash story
Walk the
with
Line
River
was.
Phoenix.
Yes.
Or not River
Joaquin.
Phoenix.
Joaquin, yeah.
Thought he looked like him.
Yeah.
Yeah, no. Very good job. Very good job.
Now, what book are you reading?
Right now, I'm currently not reading a book.
No one's ever asked that, Michael.
I was reading.
It's oh no.
Yeah, right?
No, when I do have some free time, I'm currently in an Anthony Robbins book.
Okay.
It's I think it's back there, but right now I just don't have time to read. It's
tough.
It's tough, dude.
So,
being
somebody that was not a big reader growing up, I'm trying, to give myself all right, before I go to bed, just read a couple pages.
Yeah.
It also helps you put you to sleep.
Yeah,
for
I know
most people.
Dude,
Some other people I had to stay up all night and finish this book.
I know. I don't get
It's
that. No.
That's amazing. That you feel that way.
Robots.
But for me, it's
yeah,
I'm
exactly.
Oh.
That's how it is when Tony talks a lot with me.
Tony, what about you? What book are you reading?
The Stephen King one right now.
Okay.
Yeah.
Are you only reading?
Yeah, I don't do multiple
You don't
books.
try,
I can't do that. No
See,
way.
Do you know what's funny? And no offense to you.
Right.
But will you watch multiple different stories on Netflix or on Hulu and all that, different series?
Not new ones, no.
You only all right, if you jumped into Game of Thrones right now, that's all you're gonna watch.
I wouldn't.
Okay.
Yeah.
You don't mix stories?
he
No,
wouldn't
no.
mix.
I would not
see.
mix. I'll
For
watch
me, I'm
something
yeah.
I
don't want to ruin the story yet because it's almost done. Let me go start watching this one.
Oh, that's funny. Yeah, you're attached to the characters.
Yeah.
Yeah. That's hilarious. You love our show. If you're into, you seem to be into shows and stuff. We do a show called Screen Time. It's dope. Where we
were actually talking.
Yeah,
about
we did one yesterday.
I told
Speaking
you
of which, I was gonna say the last conversation was about the Woodstock '99
Yeah, they watched
documentary.
it. They watched it.
We watched it. Renee and I watched it.
It's ridiculous.
Crazy,
right?
Oh my god! And I thought
it
it
makes
was pretty well
Limp
put together
Bizkit
too.
look like the hard asses.
Fred
but
Durst.
then at the same point, it's no, it's really on the promoter.
Yeah.
Where it's guys, look at what you decided was a smart idea.
Right.
We're gonna have Limp Bizkit followed by Rage Against the Machine, followed by Metallica,
Right.
all in one night.
Yeah.
No problems will happen. oh, it was all, Fred Durst's problem for getting the crowd all too amped up.
Like that's not fair.
It's like, guys, also at that point in time, the male like hormone gene was just like
through the roof.
Right.
Yeah.
It's did you guys ever see the movie The Program?
No.
Are you like football guys?
Yeah.
So back in like I want to say like the early 90s, there was this movie that came out that people were literally lying on train tracks because one of the characters does it to get pumped up before playing for like Florida State. And like he would paint his face.
Yeah.
And he would just wait till the last minute to get that like ampness.
Yeah.
So people started doing it.
In real life?
In real life, and then getting hit by the train. And what did you think was going to happen, people? And like all this, like this movie got so much bad press because of all that. And like the guy was all pumped up on steroids and in the movie. But it's like, guys, this is what's going on. It's actually like a good forte of like what we have to look out for. If you ever get it, it's not a great movie, but there's like some really good moments in it.
Yeah. That's cool. No, it's.
I mean, I remember when I used to play like high school football or something. Like one year, we all like painted our faces like that guy.
Yeah.
And it's like we're nowhere near this dude.
Yeah.
Especially with going to Barlow, our football program when I went there was.
Same with I was at Ludlow High. It was horrible.
Yeah.
But
but that's also like we didn't have like peewee football and stuff that like a lot of kids now have.
Right. It's crazy now.
Yeah,
it's
now
ridiculous.
it's like these kids, I feel bad for them. I look at like the travel baseball leagues and all.
They're like pros.
Yeah.
Mini pros. All of them.
It's like,
pros.
man, I kind of wish I had that, but I'm kind of happy I didn't because I found like the art world instead.
Right.
Yeah.
Because look, a friend of mine in high school who actually plays for right now back to Atlanta where he was drafted, this guy, Charlie Morton.
What? Wait, you know Charlie Morton?
Yes, I do.
Get the hell out of here. Plays for the Braves.
He also
right now.
played for Tampa Bay, won them, brought them to the World Series. But he pitched for Houston and won them the World Series. And he also beat the Yankees. So this is why
He was from Easton?
he's from Reading.
Oh,
so
wow.
Barlow,
So pretty close, yeah.
So Barlow and Easton, we shared the same school.
Yeah.
But growing up with Charlie in high school, when he got drafted right out of high school to play for the Braves, at one point in college, I saw him and we were hanging out for like a New Year's. And he's like, I'm never getting out of the farm leagues and all this. And we started talking. Like, dude, you're going to make it one day. And I guarantee you. And you're going to win a World Series. And you're going to get into a Hall of Fame. And he's like, Chad, you just dream way too big for me. Like,
Yeah.
I don't think it's going to happen. I'm like, not with that attitude, but you are. And I know it because you've been this like quiet kid who's been so dedicated and focused. And you're still that dedicated, focused, quiet kid that you'll just pick up a guitar and play some songs and that'll be it. He actually then went and did it. In the year where he won with Houston, he beat the Yankees. And for my grandmother, this is a weird story. We'll tie back in all of the sports stuff. My grandmother saw every Yankees World Series win in her lifetime. So when she passed, the following year when Houston won, she died the following year. So this was like 6 years ago, 7 years ago or something. I was like, shit, she probably put a curse. Just so I would never see another Yankees.
Oh
like,
my God.
It's like, oh no, there better not be the grandma curse for the Yankees.
No way. They're going to win it this year. I predicted it.
I don't know. Right now, we're
Trust me. No, they've won, 11 of 12 series?
I think 10 of 11.
10
Yeah,
11.
but we're still out of a wild card
2 games
spot.
out.
Yeah.
Behind Boston. We won today, I think. Right? So we're down
First
one.
game you won. Second game starting soon.
So
We won't win.
we'll see.
Because if you know anything about baseball,
Law of averages.
you never win the doubleheader.
Law of averages.
Yep.
Mets
As
won a
Barnes would
doubleheader
say.
not too long ago.
Mets did win a doubleheader, but sometimes.
But
that's
then they
fluke.
lost how many in a row?
Yeah. That was the only 2 games they've won this month.
Yeah, that's crazy.
Yeah. So being a Mets fan, you can't blame like the old ownership.
At this point, no.
Yeah.
No.
Let's get rid of
it's still some
Woody. Let's
stink.
get rid of the Johnsons.
There's still some
you know.
stink. You know, I feel like it takes a year to really get the old out and the new in.
I don't know. Like, so I know a lot of like Mets fans. I have a bunch of buddies that are big Mets fans. That's actually why I made a Mets fandom, to be honest. Where they're like, oh, it's always just the ownership. Like, we just got to get the, Woody out, blah, blah, blah. And I'm like, guys, it doesn't matter who's paying a paycheck. That's all they're doing.
Right.
No, well, they're not bringing the good management, like managers. It's like the managers can only manage. They can send out who they think, but if they're not hitting, if they're not doing their job, it doesn't matter who's out there. I mean, we know as Yankee fans, we can have every big bat, under the sun, but if they can't make contact,
it's
done.
Zero.
Yeah.
So
No, I mean, you can blame. I think this year, not to get too much
Injuries.
into it, but I mean, yeah, I mean, you can't blame it on injuries. I mean, injuries happen all the time. It's whatever you gotta overcome.
yeah, it's like, so what's
injuries.
going on
You
in
don't
your
have a
farm
good
system?
So it's like,
yeah.
well, the farm system we've exhausted. Half our bench plays for us right now. Like, but
We know what that's like. We had that in what?
Yeah.
but I mean, you can blame the GM and the
they're
owner for a
double
couple
A
bad
team for a
moves and
while.
stuff. But I think it does overall kind of come down to players aren't executing at this point.
Renee, what about you? Are you a big sports
no.
person?
Sports, yes. Baseball,
Oh.
Yeah, it's tough.
no way.
Yeah.
So
I
what's
think
your
baseball's
sport?
so much fun.
I love
Soccer.
soccer.
You're a soccer.
She just watches Italy. She's not.
I was fucking really.
You say that.
So,
What's your
okay.
favorite club team?
I feel like a club team.
She's like, what's a club team?
I mean, I like the women's U.S. team. I like watching.
So you only watch the international matches.
I like watching soccer.
Okay.
Sports.
Okay,
I'll watch
guys.
Really any soccer game, and then if it's actually crappy, I'll be like, I won't put it on. I won't watch
getting
it
angry.
anymore.
Yeah, she is.
But
Agitated.
it's
Yeah.
like your sport to actually watch.
She's getting red.
and enjoy.
Well,
Okay,
no,
here we
because
go.
I like knowing because it's
Yeah.
like, what sports are you into?
Right.
Yeah. Yeah.
I'm really into the dart league out of England.
Well, talk to Tony. He's into bowling and
I do watch
rugby.
bowling. I played rugby in college. So.
Nice.
Yeah.
I tried doing that. No, I passed.
Really couldn't do it for URI.
Yeah, like there was like club teams,
Mm-hmm.
so I went and joined like the club ski team instead, which was a lot
Oh,
more
cool.
fun.
Nice.
Yeah, it sounds like a lot more fun.
Yeah, a lot
Yeah.
more of a fun party too. But I mean, trust me, the rugby team was a lot more partying too.
Yeah. The rugby team party's hard.
Yeah, we try.
Yeah, they try.
So, question for you: unbiased opinion. Who did you like working better for, the Mets or the Yankees?
Yankees. He didn't have any
Unbiased opinion.
No, like, and I honestly mean this. They were two different organizations of work. And it's kind of funny because, as we're talking about this of like, oh, it doesn't matter about management. When I would go into like Yankee Stadium, like I would see like Nick Swisher on occasions and he would be like, yo, photographer, tell me like a funny joke. And he would bring it around and tell other people. Where I didn't really get that at, with the Mets.
It was just probably
was
a
just
depressed
like-
culture. Very sad.
But the thing that the Mets actually had is their fan base. I'm a Jets fan too,
Yeah,
so
me too.
I understand that like
That pain.
pain, and like you could see it. Like it doesn't matter. We're here. We're gonna support and rally no matter what.
Yeah.
You know this as a Yankee fan. If we're losing, we're like, screw this. We're gonna go to the bar.
Yeah,
we're going to stands.
We have a friend that goes to. He just gets depressed. Very depressed. Barnes.
yeah,
One loss.
One loss.
and it's like season's
Season's
over.
over.
Yeah. You lose 3 games and you're like, on
World
the football
Series.
season.
World Series. If they win 2-3 games,
Yeah.
Barnes they're back on track.
Yeah. Oh my God. Literally.
Two
They win
games.
2 games in a row. They're back on track for the World Series.
All right, when the Yankees lost to the Red Sox in
14.
No, I was saying back in 2004
Ooh.
when we were up the 3 games.
2004 is what I meant to say actually.
Yeah. My house in college, they were all from Massachusetts and Rhode Island.
Oh.
And let me tell you, I
David.
could not live the rest of the year without hearing about it. And I was like, you guys suck. You guys so suck. And they're like, oh, what, Yankee fan? Oh, what about us? Yeah, we win. But it's like, guys, you finally have won a World Series in so long. I'm happy for you. I'm not angry.
Yeah.
But you're the Yankees. You pay for all this stuff. It's like, yeah, they did, and it worked for a long, long time.
Yeah.
You're going to start doing it too.
Yep.
And Theo did. He was
Yeah.
like, I'm throwing all this money and I'm going to go get the best players.
Literally.
And then, like, the owners were like, all right, you're costing me way too much money. You're out of here. Fine, I'm going to go to the Cubs. And now I'm going to do it with the Cubs. And I'll show you. I actually wish Theo would come to the Yankees.
That's it. Our buddy Barnes used to say that.
I like
Yankees.
Brian Cashman.
Yeah.
I've met him a bunch. He's a really nice, humble dude. But like any job, eventually at some point,
Yeah, it's time.
like, I mean, he's been with the Yankees for how long?
Over 10 years.
Oh no, over
No,
20.
it's like 20
over
years.
20 years.
I thought it was like 18.
No, 22.
Yeah, so
half.
it's
22 and a half. 22 and 3 months.
27 days.
27 days, 13
27
hours.
Yes.
42 minutes and 13 seconds.
14.
18.
Say 15.
I'm on international time. We're a couple seconds ahead.
Yeah. Oh man.
But I like seeing like they're trying to expand sports now over, with England.
Oh yeah.
Right.
With like
Oh yeah, bringing NFL over there,
baseball now over
NBA.
there. Yeah. It's like, why not? Why are we not? We look at it, we're all on the East Coast, but 6 hours gets us to the West Coast. Like if we're going out to Seattle. Mm-hmm. We can go to England in those same like 6 hours.
Yeah.
So why don't you put some teams? And I really think that Jacksonville at some point is going to be England's team. Like
That'd be crazy.
Goodell is like tweaking it each year because they actually call themselves the Union Jacks over there. A couple of years ago, I was over visiting my sister who lives in England, and I was like, "Oh, sweet! The Jets are playing the Jaguars. Like it's now." Like 9 o'clock their time, but it's, 4 o'clock our time. And I was like, this is so weird. Like, you actually have American football, like, fans over here. It's not just soccer hooligans.
Yeah.
And it's like, there's billboards about the Jacksonville Union Jacks. And I'm like, wait, are they already branding it? Like, this is pretty interesting.
Wow.
My sister's like, yeah, aren't they just the Jaguars? I'm like, I don't know. Like,
Weird
what's going
stuff's going on over here.
Jaguars.
Yeah.
Jaguars.
Jaguars. But like,
No, we had this conversation on our sports show
Sports
today because Barnes, the host, said Jaguars.
No,
I say
yeah.
He said Jaguars.
Yeah.
Jaguar.
I say Jaguars. Jaguar.
Jaguars.
Jaguar.
It's not Jaguar.
Jaguars.
It's not Jaguars.
It's the car with that little thing.
Jaguar.
It's not Jaguar.
Jaguar. It's a Jaguar. It's a silent J.
Yes.
It's like yogging.
A soft J.
Yeah. Apparently, people just run.
Yeah. Yogging.
Yogging.
Jaguar.
Yeah, Jaguars.
Sounds German.
The Jacksonville Jaguars.
There we go.
I think Jaguar is German. I could be wrong.
You don't know.
It'd be Austrian.
You don't know.
It's a sparkle dance party.
Oh man. But so again, let's do.
Wait, what was the last question?
Yeah, go ahead.
Well,
What's the last question?
last question is, what would you tell
What would
younger
you, I know.
you?
Well, I was gonna say if you wanted to, you seemed like you wanted to ask. You
Well, it sounded like you were wrapping up, so I was like, wait.
And I said one more thing.
All right.
Jeez Louise.
Take it away, Mike.
Renee, you asked
It's all
the
you,
question.
Mike, yeah.
What would you tell yourself?
A younger self.
A
What,
younger self.
what would you tell a younger you
Yeah.
What would you tell younger you,
out there right now?
Chad?
Look at that camera right there, Chad.
Okay, which
Mr.
camera?
Anderson, right here, Mr. Anderson.
Mr. Anderson. I'll tell you another story about that after. What I would tell myself as a younger
You don't have
Younger
to actually
me.
look at the camera, but you could.
one, don't listen to other people. Always listen to yourself, which is very true. If I did, I would never have stuck with doing the photography.
Right.
Because, if I listened to my mom and my dad originally, I wouldn't have gotten to shoot all these cool bands over the years, which I actually was able to get my parents tickets to, like, Paul McCartney one time. Like, here you go, Mom, you're all set.
Yeah.
2, buy into stocks. I still haven't done that yet, and I'm still yelling at myself about doing it. So buy stocks, research things.
Yeah. You can do it with NFTs now.
Yeah.
Don't
3,
mess up on that.
learn what the hell an NFT is.
You already know what this is for another 20 years, but
But
learn
look
what it
into
is.
it now.
Yeah.
4, drink only on days that end in Y. Just kidding. But really, 4, take time for yourself with anything, because even like for family, for friends, don't work so much. We've gotten to become this culture where if we don't take a job, we're like, you guys know this in our industry, like, oh, then I'm going to miss it and I'll never get that opportunity.
Yeah.
I've really have learned a lot in the last, number of years where there's always another door to be opened later on. So maybe you didn't open that door to go take that, but you know what? because you didn't take that, this door opened up a whole new world of things for you instead. So don't take everything so serious, and take time for yourself, because it's so important. As like, life is just, it could be over in a second. Like I could leave here and there could be like an air conditioner that falls on my head. Who knows?
What's that from? Dang, that's from a movie. Sorry, go ahead.
Is it really?
Yeah, it really is. Dang. I can't remember right now.
No, I don't know.
See, now he's like, oh, we're gonna have to go back
see
and
it.
strip.
Dang, I'll get
Okay.
it. I'll get it after this.
But don't take life too seriously. It's like a Ferris Bueller quote. If you don't take, what's the line from Ferris Bueller?
Tony's gotta know.
Come on.
Life goes by pretty fast.
Fast.
If you don't stop it and look around for a while, you'll miss it.
Yep, it's very true.
I knew you'd know it.
Great movie. Matthew Broderick, great actor.
It is.
And to quote like
I actually
Shannon
have seen
Hoon, if you guys ever were into Blind Melon, we all can't stay here forever. But sometimes we got to change. So
Yeah, Tony.
Yeah, Mike.
And on that note,
you can leave that as like the fade out
ending.
music.
Yeah, exactly. But yeah,
Life
so
is hard. You got to change.
one more time, tell the folks where to find you. On
You
Instagram
can
if
find
want.
me at chadandersonphoto.com or at thevolumejustIncreases.com in case you want to pick yourself up a Fandle. And thank you guys for having me on.
Thanks for coming, man. All right, guys, like, comment, subscribe. Go watch everything else we do, and go buy candles from him.
Fandles for all.
Fandles.
Fandle candle.